It is the Suicide Squad. James Gunn, he wrote it, he directed it. It's got Margot Robbie, Elba Cena, Kidman, Stallone, Davis, Courtney, and a bunch of other people you may or may not know, depending on your frequency of movie going. It's based off the DC comics of the same name, dropped by Warner Brothers. August 5th was the release date for the States. It's 132 minutes. Budget of 185 million. Box office is 71.4 as of this recording, and it is based off or a sequel, reboot, prequel. I don't know, man. Movies are hard from the Suicide film of 2016 that I may or may not remember being a big piece of poop.
It's definitely a sequel to it, even if they didn't use the same characters. They just used the Suicide Squad formula, which is just get some people.
I say keep the on there, and then you can just kind of branch off from this. I know they want to do more spin-offs to the HBO Max and all that good stuff because no one's going to stream that channel if they don't got something cool and hip for the kids.
Yeah. Well, Peacemaker, get a spin-off. And he's doing that too. I didn't think he thought he was going to, take a producer's credit or something, but he's actually involved in that story. So I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting.
Well, sounds like he had fun. Well, you want to dive right in, Dustin? This movie's got a lot going on, except for the moments it doesn't, and then it makes me go, "What is happening here?"
All right, I didn't have any of those moments, but that's
really.
Yeah, I mean, because maybe it's just familiarity with his work. Yeah, like I do really enjoy James Gunn's.
If you like James Gunn stuff, I think this is just an easy watch for any fan. And I will chalk it up to I do lean towards his stuff more than any of the other modern day superhero stuff, and it's mostly just because I kind of loathe it all right now. I'm just beyond over it. I don't give two shits what a Marvel does. The last thing Marvel did that I really enjoyed was The Punisher on Netflix. Oh. I thought that I love those characters like that in those small doses, but I just can't take these 2-3 hour just CG jerk off fest anymore. It's just awful. But I know I stand alone. This is more of a refreshing change. And I kind of like the hyper violence in it. Made me go, okay, yeah.
I like that they finally tried the comic accurate costumes.
Yeah, I think that's what made this a little bit more not so superhero movie relaxing watch. It just didn't do what all the other superhero movies either do to exhaustion or they take turns copying it. I don't know. It wasn't as hokey as like Shazam, but it had more of an adult hokiness to it. And like I said, there are parts where I do a little bit of the lulling throughout. No raffles, but a couple of lulls. And when we bring them up, or when they come up in the narrative or whatever, I'll bring them up because they were kind of made me go, "What is this movie doing right now?" Because I'm so scarred. I don't know how to take these movies anymore. I was like, are we having a laugh with this shit? Like, where does this going to fall? Are you going to go crazy? Are you going to go kind of ha-has?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's I really think that James Gunn is unfortunately part of the reason we have that in so many superhero movies is because he did the heart, the comedy, the action, and everything so well and so balanced that they were just like, oh, copy that shit, just fold that into everything. Yeah, there we go. Mm-hmm. But yeah, this movie starts with Michael Rooker playing Savant. I mean, it's just. You're just like, yeah, this guy. I sometimes like it when directors work with the same actors, and other times I'm just like, yeah, I get it. You guys are friends. I don't fucking like. You have to pay him for that. I don't care. And Savant's throwing up.
Yeah, that's usually how it works. Like I get paid for my.
Usually, how I pay my friends to hang out with me on set. Yeah. I get it. It's like you get your posse paid, whatever. But anyway,
posse pay me? Fuck.
You gotta get on the posse, motherfucker. You're not on the posse yet.
Fair.
Yeah. Before you could be friends with Sean Gunn and then maybe work your way into the posse. But now that motherfucker's taken off, so you don't even have a shot at that. You gotta be in Sean Gunn's best friend's posse to maybe get into this one. But yeah, Servant's throwing a ball around, doing his little gimmick of, I don't know, angles, I guess. This little dumb bird. This dumb bird's just like, hey, I found like the worst place to eat food on the floor of a prison. Let me get at that. Nibble, nibble, nibble.
I hope what they said about prisons isn't true. I'm a little bird.
And so he looks at the angles, figures out how he can kill the bird, and we're supposed to be like, ooh, Michael Rooker's a badass. He killed a bird with a bouncy ball. Yeah, just a small sample of what he can do with a racquetball. But then cue Amanda Waller, played by the talented Viola Davis. I'm like, who doesn't love her at this point, you know?
Yeah, she's great as this character, I think.
Yeah.
Can't imagine anybody else doing it better.
No, there is no one else. Like, especially like that's just like the hardest fucking asshole character in all of DC.
Mm-hmm.
So, but Roger's like, I got 15 more minutes. She's just like, fucking not if you want a year off your fucking prison sentence, asshole. Let's go, saddle up.
It's like, I'm listening.
Yeah, and then she gives the boring spiel that she gave him the first one for way too long. Go on a mission, get time off, blah, 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 blow up your head if you disobey, or fuck up, or look at me wrong, or whatever, you know. And then it's like, all right, let's meet Rick Flag and the rest of the team, and then they're just out. It's very, I don't know, it's very Lenny Kravitz music video from the 90s with the giant American flag. I don't really get that iconography. God damn it, I can't say that word. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, man, Lenny Kravitz, everyone got it.
Lenny Kravitz, yeah.
Captain Boomerang, Blackguard, TDK, Javelin, Mongol, and Harlequin with Weasel.
Yeah. And they load him onto a plane. Old Suicide Squad, which is just, I think, just Boomerang and Harley Quinn and Rick Flag that are in this movie because they were like, hey, Will Smith, you're box office poison because you only act like Will Smith, and we really wanted you to act as, you know, Deadshot, like one of the best villains in the DC universe. But, you know, thanks for making him shitty. Thanks
you
for
blew
that.
it, Will.
Yeah. I really don't understand why they didn't just go
Fresh Princess. I would just been Fresh Princess, Will. Princess.
He did do that, Kevin. He really
No, he didn't, dude. He didn't at all because they wanted to be all gritty and dark in the first one. They wanted that whole Suicide Squad movie in the first one to be just so much grit. You can't even chew your popcorn because all the grit's in your mouth.
But then it resembled more like Tom Cruise's The Mummy. So
no one knows what that is.
Well, I mean, if they look it up, they're gonna be like, "Holy shit, he's right. This is the same movie.
The dark universe lives."
Yeah. Yeah, but then like they're kind of, you know, sizing each other up, and Roker is this like, or Savant is this almost like this odd man out. He has this very professional, you know, aura.
He's there for business, man.
Yeah, he's like, I want time off my fucking prison sentence. That's all I give a fuck about. The Blackguard, played by the annoying Pete Davidson. I don't find the guy funny.
Yeah,
okay. Like he just has a face I want to punch. The only funny line is they were like, he's like, is that thing a dog? And I laughed because I was just like, they literally told you his name's the Weasel, and you're asking if he's a dog. And then Nathan Fillion's character TDK is just like, I guess an Afghan hound. And then Harley Quinn's like, ooh, maybe he's a werewolf. And then Pete Davidson freaks the fuck out. He's like he cannot be around a werewolf for whatever fucking weird reason, just to show his character's stupidity. And I just kind of like, I don't know why, but this scene was just so weird and dumb that I enjoyed it, as you can hear from my tone.
Yeah, it kind of lost, like when he started going, oh, werewolf, and he started freaking out. I was like, stop, dude. Like you're fucking it all up.
I know, because he
fucked the joke up. Yeah, and I was like, you're funny? You're the funny guy? No, dude. The only part that made me laugh in here, he's like, hey, man, what's your name? He's like, TDK. And he's like, all right, that's not a name. Those are just initials. He's like, what the fuck you think a name is?
No,
he's
letters.
Like,
he's like,
letters, yeah.
Your name? He's like, your name is just letters? And then Cabaru is like, hey, dickhead, All names are just letters.
Yeah, that made me laugh. And I was like, they're all This is the team that I want to see get murdered.
Exactly. You want to see them get murdered. So they go to disboard by jumping into the water. They've been told they're going to Corto Maltese, a small island nation, blah, 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 blah. Just, it's Panama, and America's being America, and we're going to go
Project Starfish. The big gist of it is they have, you might as well just tell them, there's basically something they want to get destroyed to prove that the Americans had nothing to do with this big project that's going on.
It's being billed as we got to stop it before it comes and destroys us.
Right. There's this militant family that basically Castro's the whole island, and now this new power is taking over, and there's kind of just this juxtaposition of power and fighting. So they're going to take this time to go in there and do their suicide thing.
Yeah. So they all disembark. They jump in the water. The weasel starts to drown instantly. And we cut to the control room where we previously saw them taking bets on who was going to die. There's a lot of money being exchanged in the hands of these handlers. And this is the only part where Viola Davis is not Amanda Waller-ish enough. She allows the betting to happen. And I feel like she would have fucking killed all their families if she saw that shit in the comic book.
Yeah.
But, whatever. It's played for comedy, played for laughs. They're all just looking around at each other like, fuck, we did not check to see if the weasel could swim. We fucked up. Servant grabs the weasel, carries him all the way to shore. He reports the weasel is dead. The best character is already dead. They haven't even gotten onto the island. And then from here, just the fucking blackguard, played by Pete Davidson, the annoying Pete Davidson, goes up and attempts to act. He fails miserably and gets shot in the face for it. And it becomes a much better movie from that point on.
Yeah, he goes in there and stating that, hey guys, I called you, here they are. And say, oh man, this guy sold us out. And then they shoot him. And it just turns into a giant just clusterfuck on the beach. You see the javelin guy. Everyone tries to go into action. You get to see their terrible powers.
Yeah, Mongal takes down a helicopter and
spikes it on her team. Yeah. She spikes it on the boomerang.
Yeah, he gets hit by the debris from a tree. And then TDK, he unhinges his arms and just like like this made me laugh because I was like, they don't even move fast. They're just like slowly moving over. Like,
well, I did laugh because they're floating in the air, right?
Yeah.
And they're kind of like slapping soldiers and just like pulling on their gear, not really doing anything. It's not like it's not like a mech where the fists are flying and punching through heads or anything. Yeah. It's just almost like an annoyance. And then they start shooting the arms and he rolls on the ground in pain, just flailing, not even flailing, but just rolling like a baby back and forth. I kind of chuckled at that. I was like, you're so terrible.
Yeah. Just like the worst. But hey, the DC creator that created that guy, if he's still alive, was probably so fucking grateful that he put him in the movie because he got a big paycheck from that. So, yeah, more power to that guy.
If they're still alive, that guy.
He's like, I'm not. My family got nothing. I mean, they've actually been like, I forget who it was, but some creator, he was just like, KGB Beast, his 5-second appearance in Batman v Superman paid him more than like the 7 other characters he created for Marvel that appeared in movies. So DC and WB does okay on that. But anyway, yeah, so it's just a bloodbath. Everyone's getting fucked up. And then we go to Team 2 suddenly. Team 2's on a different beach. And that's where we meet the real Suicide Squad that we're going to be following. But not before we flash back to 3 days later, where we see Bloodsport, played by Idris Elba, cleaning. And he's cleaning up after basically all the people that we just saw get murdered. Servant and his long-ass hair. Blackguard, who drops toilet paper by him. Because I just feel like that part was probably improv'd. And it still made me hate the man. Like, just a lot.
Yeah, it's not funny, dude.
Yeah. And so Viola Davis and her team are just like egging on Bloodsport, and then she's just like, you gotta visit her, you gotta meet your daughter because we've just recasted you as Deadshot from the first one, but gave you a new name so that we didn't have to explain why we recasted Will Smith. So and I think because Will Smith's contract was actually for one more movie, so to avoid having to have him back, they were just like, no, we'll just use the exact same plot line but different person.
Yeah, because I was like, I've never heard of this character.
I've heard of. I know him only from like, you know, those like stupid lists and shit. Where they're just like, oh, did you know about Superman? Like, I knew him from that. Like, he's the first character they had shoot like a kryptonite bullet at Superman. Like, you know, that's it. And that's one of the things one of the little factoids he brings up. She's like, put Superman in the ICU with a kryptonite bullet.
Which is stupid because, like, what are doctors going to do to Superman?
Yeah.
I was like, shouldn't they took him to the Fortress of Solitude and put him in hey, man.
Shouldn't just Batman do it? Like, he's just like, I got this, don't worry.
Yeah, I was like, what? Wait, does he got a PPO, HMO? What is he? No,
he's like, I got a fucking Cobra, man. Like,
so you pay for your own? Oh man, Soups.
Yeah, he's like, I'm a freelance reporter. Like, yeah,
Soups. They're taking you to the bank on that shit.
He's like, tell me about it. You know, fucking we had to sell half an acre of the farm just to fucking survive.
Freelance reporter, what does that pay?
He's just like, not well. I'll tell you that much. That's what
you might as well be a blogger.
Taking over the mantle. He's like, hey, I haven't sold my soul that far yet.
Hey, what does that pay actually?
hey, what does that pay? How do I get that? They didn't cover that in journalism school.
There's a couple places, man. They'll write you per article. They'll sneak some ads in your article. You'll be good. He's good. Like,
top 10 ways to fucking remove a kryptonite bullet if you're Superman. They're just like, what? This is a weirdly specific article.
Don't get shot.
Don't get shot. Number 9, have Batman as your fucking friend. Number 3, Flash as your fucking nurse. Just like,
seems kind of skip it a few here. I don't really have 10.
He's like, I'm going to circle back around to don't get shot. That's my 10 and my 1. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, so they do the pitch. So he meets his daughter, and
this was a very heartwarming.
No, I kind of loved it because at least it was like no bullshit. Like, he's just like, I'm a bad dad and I don't care, and I told you that, so stop coming here. But then she finds out that basically Amanda Waller told her to tell him to help her because she's going to go to prison. And then he busts in on Waller and was just like, you're fucking using my 14-year-old daughter against me? And she's like,
yeah, well, man, she stole an iWatch.
Yeah, but I love this part because she's just like, father of the fucking year, your daughter's 16. Like, and he's just like, what the fuck? Okay.
Oh, that made me laugh. I don't think it was supposed to. I think it was supposed to be hard. I was like, dude, you don't even know how old she is. Bro, you're a bitch.
When she says father of the year, I laughed. I think you were supposed to laugh.
I don't know, dude.
Anyway, so yeah, she basically goes, you know, I can make it to where she gets in here, okay? And we have the highest mortality rate, so I'm basically threatening your daughter's life. Join my team, or she fucking dies. Or and even though he's a bad dad, he's not gonna just, you know, let that happen, basically. So.
Or she gets thrown into Belle Reve and then gets on Love and Lockup because she becomes like a John. And then like some guys out there in like Gotham are just hooking up with her on these prison pen pal websites, and they start sending her stuff.
Yeah, so dude, she's 16.
So she's like a queen in there, and she's just like sending these little Instagram pictures, so it's not nothing too much. But then she has like all the ramen and cigarettes. And then, like, she just like runs it, and then she gets out, and then you find out she has powers to cook like toilet ramen.
She's like, I make the best toilet ramen.
And then she gets drafted for the next movie as Toilet Ramen Girl.
She's like, what are her powers? Dude, just don't. They never put a cook on these teams. So just fucking enjoy it and shut up. All right?
Exactly.
Eat your toilet ramen and be
Why
happy.
does she need a toilet ramen? Oh, man, she's going to be really upset when she finds out that's an outhouse.
Because it's something about the porcelain and the doo-doo.
James
I'm gonna
Gunn.
pretend you just say doo-doo because I'm eating this and it's delicious. So
That one's on the house, James.
He's like, yeah, I am not using toilet ramen girl
Hey, man.
for anything other than my personal writings.
Oh, fan fiction. I hear you, James.
He's like, I'll pitch it, but it's gonna get shot down, guys.
Got green lit.
Yeah, and so he sneaks it in, and I'm just like,
7
oh my
sequels.
god, he listened. What the fuck? Why would he listen? He had to do so many interviews. Why would he care about this podcast?
It's kind of like that Brittany Murphy movie, Ramen Girl, but we put toilet in front of it. The lawyers can't touch us. James, you in? James? He must have went through a tunnel. He must be using Skype.
I was out when you said Brittany Murphy. So, and movie. But yeah, so he puts a pin to Waller's neck and is just like, I will fucking kill you. And he said, fine, I'm on your stupid fucking team. And she's like, all right, let's go meet the team. Like, no time wasted. And she brings him over to John Cena. And she just introduced Blackguard. I want to keep calling him Blackguard, but he's Bloodsport. As basically a mercenary who was trained to kill at an early age from his father. And anything in his hand is a deadly weapon. That's like the pitch she uses for him. And then they go meet John Cena, and she says the exact same thing about John Cena's character of Peacemaker. And I like this because he's like, are you having a laugh? And she's like, what? He's like, he does what I do. You know, and just like that charming British way of just like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And then they have this like, thus begins their pissing contest where Peacemaker's like, I do what you do, but I do it better. So, and then they go, and I forget who they meet King Shark next, who's reading a book upside down. And he is his body double, Kevin. Do you want to know who his body double is? It's the big guy in the control center. The reddish hair guy.
Was the control center a show?
No, the Suicide Squad control center thing.
Oh,
he's the one taking the money and stuff.
With the glasses, the horrible, the one that's so shook that she's gonna hurt children.
Yeah,
I hated that part. They like all the other employees kept looking at each other like, is our boss a super bitch? I was like, dude, she's a psychopath. This is the first time she's let this out.
She's literally running an unauthorized black ops from a prison. Like,
this is a private sector move.
What?
Yeah, it's like, what is on your resume? Like,
yeah, like you had to have known that this is where your career goes to die, not succeed. So you should have done some bad shit to get here and been okay. I
didn't really like any of her peons. Like, they bothered me a lot.
It was weird that they got so much screen time too, because in the first one they basically just killed them all instantly, and I was like, thank God, because they should just be limited to background characters. Yeah, I didn't really understand why they had starring roles, but I guess James Gunn's friends with that guy in like real life, so that's probably why they boosted everyone's fucking roles or some shit. But yeah, he's the body double for King Shark.
Posse pay,
man. That's kind of my dream. Posse pay. I just want to posse pay. You know, that's my new goal in life. And then they're off to the women's prison where we get to see Crazy Quilt. And I was like,
was there any? Yeah, was there any other cameos in there?
Not in that scene. Crazy Quilt's the only one that I saw in that scene.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, Crazy Quilt could work on the movie if her powers were stupid and there was story for her. But hey, look at that. Real comic character living and breathing on my screen. Amazing.
Man alive. What a time to be alive.
What a time.
You love to see it. Any other phrases?
First Crazy Quilt, then Polka Dot Man. Fucking just get Condiment King in here and we're done. I can die a happy man.
That's me. I love condiments.
And then we meet Ratcatcher 2. And Cena very snarkily goes, we couldn't afford Ratcatcher 1.
That's what I thought.
And Ratcatcher 1 is dead. But we're going to see him plenty in this movie, so don't worry, everyone. And and then we meet Ratcatcher 2, and I liked her character. Actually.
Yeah, she was fine. I think she got she was fine.
She's very sleepy. So, and then we're off to get Polka Dot Man, where we get him, and I forget who these two characters are, but those two characters that like talk shit to Polka Dot Man. They're comic book characters too. And then we get to see the Weasel again, and he's like eating the glass of his cell. And just something about the look, just the look of that guy fucking made me laugh every time the Weasel was on the screen.
Yeah, he looked like shit ran over twice and left and like he looked like he already pre-drowned, and he's just like his eyes are all googly, his hair is like a scraggly dog.
Yeah, well, I guess I saw something that said like the comic book character's original, I guess, influence was Bill from fucking what's it, Bloom County, you know, the cat.
Oh, the old like comic,
the super old comic strip.
Oh
yeah.
Wow, I can see that now.
Yeah, like once you see it, you're like, oh yeah, that does make sense. You know, just put some underwear on him, and great, that would have been great. But now we got a debrief. Everyone's in costumes, sitting very far away from each other. Peacemaker's taking notes, and this is where they lay out what they're going to be doing and stuff. And I liked Polka Dot Man. I just like his delivery, because Bloodsport's like, oh my god, we're all gonna die, and he's like, I hope so. And just that, like,
Jesus Christ.
Like, I just really felt like in that moment he was like, God, I fucking hope so. And I was just like, man, I believe that shit.
I believed it.
You know. And then boom, we're back on the beach, and Bloodsport's like, I don't know how you did it, but the beach is clear. There's no soldiers here. We're good. They hear the fight going off. He's like, hey, what the fuck's that, Control? And Control's like, don't worry about it. That's your diversion. Just do your thing. Get to the city. They go. They camp for the night. John Cena and Idris Elba have this great dialogue about dicks on a beach. Ratcatcher 2 jumps in. She's like, why would someone put a bunch of penises all over the beach? And I just love that. Love that gag.
Cena was like, I don't know, but I would take care of them for justice.
Yeah, for fucking keeping the peace, I would eat every dick if you told me that I had to eat every dick to keep the peace. Wow. So this is like,
it's real frat boy bro humor.
Yeah, this is the John Cena I like, because he's like amazing heel, and I'm just like, man, Cena, he really like.
He's just real snarky and bratty, and like,
yeah,
he ain't gonna tell me nothing.
Yeah, so then they make camp for night, and we learned that Bloodsport has a fear of rats. It's kind of alluded to because we meet Sebastian, who's a member of the team. He's a little rat with a little vest, and he likes to wave and give leaves that are beautiful.
That was another part that made me chuckle. Why the hell's that rat waving at me? He's a polite, I guess.
Oh, I'm gonna guess that he's friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I was just like, oh, I love Sebastian. He's so great. I was like, I want a little Sebastian. Not really, because fuck rats.
No, like, yeah, it's disgusting.
You know, yeah. But if I didn't have a phobia of them as well, I'd be like, oh. But yeah, so they bunker down for the night, and then the little rat comes over, and first we see Polka Dot Man, whose face is like expanding and distorted.
He's got the polka dots are overflowing within his soul, and he's a puke him out, Dustin, or he's gonna die.
He pukes him out hard. Like they're like, yeah, like
that'd be so annoying to have to puke polka dots twice a day, just so you don't possibly die or implode.
Well, if you wanted, like, imagine how. The way I took that is like, if he wants death, but this hurts so fucking much that he would rather expel them than to let himself die. Mm-hmm. That shit's gotta hurt, man. Like if your like natural instinct is to survive and not let this kill you, that shit's gotta hurt to like snap you from that, you know, like to make instincts kick in over fucking your desires. Like I was like, damn. And then Sebastian comes over and informs him that King Shark and I'm just gonna call him King Shark. I know because there's like, I don't know, there's like 3 different types of King Sharks or whatever. It's one of those like stupid Wonder Woman things where they're like, we gave this guy too many origins. Now it's all fucked up. I'm calling him King Shark because he's fucking just King Shark. Okay, they call him Nawawe or something. I don't care. King Shark for life. And he's about to eat Ratcatcher 2, who's fast asleep.
It's so stupid, and like it's like a real like Warner Brothers cartoon moment where he's just picking her straight up. She's not even moving. He's slowly sliding her like in his mouth.
Sneaking in a snack. And I think this is the character Stallone was made for. There we go. Made to play. There we go. Something similar. Bloodsport starts just shooting the shit out of him, making his gun bigger. It pisses off King Shark. But then Ratcatcher is like, oh, hey, what's going on? And she's just like, he was about to eat you. And she's like, no, he has such kind eyes. But then the rats him out. And then she calls forth all the other rats. And that's when fucking King Shark backs down. John Cena shows up in his tidy whities and his rubber dong in there. Either that or that guy has a monster of a dick.
Dude, why are you checking out his dong, dude?
Dude, it was like wrapped around, like doing an infinity symbol down there. I was just like, come on. Who are you fooling with that? John Cena shows him tiny whities and you're not looking? Bullshit.
No,
Kevin.
absolutely not. I was uncomfortable.
Me and the rest of the audience was fucking looking. And we were also still uncomfortable, but we were still looking, okay? I had to know. I was just like, does he got a little dick from all the roids?
Wow.
Does he? Put the rubber in there. That's a rubber dong.
Gee, save that for your fan fiction.
Well, that's my everyday fiction. Okay,
that's fair.
But yeah, then Ratcatcher 2 reaches out to King Shark and says, you want to eat a friend, would you? And
we're all friends here. No one.
We're all friends.
Until the story says otherwise.
Till the story demands a betrayal, because it's Suicide Squad and Amanda Waller always has multiple angles. And that's
Speaking of those angles, Dustin, you got to go back to the other side of the beach.
We got to go to the other side of the beach. We got to find out what happened to Harley as she gets the javelin and he dies. And did you laugh when she smacked the shit out of his face?
I didn't, because I knew it was going to happen.
Exactly. I knew it was going to happen too. And I don't hate.
She does an incredible pitch perfect voice from the cartoon. Like I don't know, man. Play him one after another. I couldn't tell you who's doing which Harley voice. Like, I think she's really, really good at it. That's
the thing, is I get this like weird Jersey twang from her. It's not all the time, but on certain things, she'll say something and I'm like, are you just doing a Jersey accent? And it's very off-putting to me when that happens. Otherwise, yes, I think she's spot on. I really like her.
I think she's like, dude, when she's tied up in the torture scene, like
oh, that's great. Yeah.
I'm like, I that's all I hear is the Batman animated series Harley.
That's what I'm saying. And that part, I don't hear the Jersey twang, but when she is doing the speech about the javelin and how he died, and she needs to know why she needs to carry the javelin, like, it's so Jersey where I'm just like, what the
well, I didn't. Yeah, I can only picture the fucking pudding.
Yeah. But yeah, she's captured. Rick Flag runs into soldiers that they seem to be different soldiers.
You find out they're just some militant resistance.
Yeah, they're just they're the good guys in this horrible bad guy movie. So we have 2 surviving members. They're captured. And then the squad wakes up and they're told, hey, Rick Flag pinged. You got to go get him. So they're just like, all right, we're going to go get Rick Flag. They sneak up on this encampment in the morning. And
King Shark just eats the first dude.
He eats the first dude, and quickly. And
I really wanted him, and this is a huge disappointment for me. I thought he was just going to thrash. When I saw the violence, I really wanted him to just go in there and start chomping shit up and just. I think he got a very under
Shark show,
Yeah, I just think I would have just had him eat like 3 or 4 or 5 guys, and then he just gets all sleepy and full. You know what I mean? We're just like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I get sleepy when I eat all the people.
Nom nom.
Yeah, like, or something like that. And then they're just like, oh man. And I think then you could have used him sparingly, and then I go, well, where's King Shark in this scene? Oh, he must just be full. You know what I mean? And they're like, dude, are you eating stuff again? He's like, no. And then like there's like shorts hanging out of his mouth. Like I would have done that with him. I think he's just criminally underdone in this movie.
I think unfortunately that's how it's always going to be with that character. They just.
It's like
it's amazing we got him in this movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You did all that work to get him in there. I just think I would have spent a little more time with him, like a couple, not an extravagant amount of time, like
Pick your battles, man. Pick your battles.
Yeah, it is.
Because this scene's not his though. This is to establish the pissing contest or continue the pissing contest between Bloodsport.
Well, I recognize that. That's why I would have just. Yeah. This is how I would have introduced him, just disappearing sometimes in the movie. So I would have used him there. I mean, he's hiding in a van. You know what I mean? I would have just chalked it up to that, and I would have told the audience, "Hey, don't go looking for him. He's taking a food nap." Ha ha ha.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair point. But yeah, they start their killing competition. There's some good deaths here. I laughed when Peacemaker just hacks that guy all the way up.
Yeah, on the bed. He's like sleeping on the cot, and he just gets chopped up like 18 times.
Yeah,
but it's so nonchalantly done. Yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah, fun. It just shows they're just like
I chuckled at that.
No remorse for murder at all. I liked the Bloodsport one where he shoots the fan into the bathtub on the guy's dick. I was just like, damn, double whammy. And then so they've killed everyone. You get to see some male penis at some point. That's just a little Easter egg for those that weren't looking for it or expecting for it. Just gonna mention that, hey,
that's how Easter eggs work.
Yeah, that's someone wanted to know. They were like, "Oh, do I see some full frontal male?
Look at this dick over here." Yeah, this guy compared it to an Easter egg. It's clearly a dick. What is this dude talking about?
Like an Easter egg, like an Easter egg in the movie,
But like, I wasn't looking for a dick, so why is that an Easter?
Hey man,
and they didn't hide it.
Maybe someone took a bite of popcorn at that point and missed. Yeah. They blinked.
Every time I fire up a movie,
it's not like 5 minutes of dick on the fucking screen. Okay, it's just like a dick flash. All right, someone might have missed the dick, Kevin. Okay, I didn't want anyone to miss the dick. I wanted to see the dick, acknowledge the dick, brace the dick.
Yeah, man, they saw it.
Move on from the dick. Anyway. They bust in to save Rick Flag. He's enjoying tea, and they have to very poorly inform them that they killed everyone, basically. And the part I definitely call bullshit on is the resistance leader doesn't just like try to kill them or,
Yeah, she takes it pretty well.
She takes it very well. She's like, these guys have already killed my whole family, so I'd make a deal with the devil. If it meant killing them. And I was like, wow, got some low ass fucking standards, lady, but okay. She's like, I'll still help you get there. And so they're just off again, walking through the jungle. Gotta get to their meeting point, get picked up by Milton. And then we have this great polka dot man scene where he's, expanding with polka dots again, and Peacemaker's just like, nah, man, what the fuck is that shit? Like, we're not going. I need to know if you're contagious. Like, you can't fucking keep looking like that, basically, without some information. And we get polka dot man's backstory, which is tragic and horrible, as you'd expect. And then the scene that absolutely made me laugh was he sees his mom everywhere.
He wants revenge because she tested on him and his siblings, so he hates mom.
Yeah, but he sees her everywhere. And we cut to his POV, and every single person on the screen is played by the same actress. And even King Shark. And it is very fucking funny. And they do the rule of threes on it, and I was just like, thank you. That was perfect. That was
they show some restraint.
Yeah. They didn't overkill it. They used it 3 times. Perfect. They get to the meeting point. They kill everyone there. They get into the van, and they're told to get disguises. King Shark has a great scene where he's just like, I'll wear a disguise. And they're just, and Ratcatcher 2, love her character. She's like, you are going to wear a disguise? What are you going to wear? He's like, fake mustache. And they're just like, no, man, no.
He puts his hand on his face. He's like, get that shit the fuck away from me. It's the worst fucking fake mustache I've ever fucking seen. And he's like, oh,
shit on him.
Fuck.
Yeah, he's like, fuck. And then he speaks Spanish at one point. He's like, see. And then he's like, oh, look at it. He's learned fucking Spanish. So it was, yeah. I mean, Stallone is just, it's so stupid that they pay this big actor for this. But then when you just hear it, you're like, yeah, I mean, it works.
They paid Vin Diesel to do the stupid Groot shit.
Exactly. No, I know.
And this is way better than Groot. At least this is funny.
Yeah. because like Groot, like that shit wears thin very quickly. They're like, oh, we did Baby Groot. I'm like, I don't really care. I cared in the credits. I didn't want to see it forever, but
you will.
You will. And so then they're off to the city. They got to go to a club, which translates to the Friendly Cat. Kevin, that's
I know.
Okay, I mean, that was for the audience.
I know remedial
You're the only
Spanish.
person I could talk to, but fuck you anyway.
Hey, doesn't Marvel have a character like Starro that's kind of like a tentacle type purple thing?
Tentacle type purple thing?
Yeah,
No.
I remember.
That's like Starro? No. I mean, you might be thinking of Ego the Living Planet. But no. They don't have anything like Starro.
There's something. Maybe I'm just thinking of something else. I'll bring it up in a second.
They definitely have, like shared conscious creature things like that. There's the Fairlax and there's a whole bunch of other shit, but not something like Starro. No, Starro's pretty much since he premiered in DC is pretty unique of just DC. So
there was a Marvel superhero game back in the day, and I remember there was it's an eye with tentacles around it.
Oh yeah, no, there is a starfish guy. Yeah, the fight. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Is it Blackheart? No, Blackheart's the big guy. Prickly.
Yeah, I don't remember, but yeah, he's nothing like Starro. He's shitty.
I mean, just tentacles and an eyeball is what I was thinking.
Yeah, but not nearly.
Okay, whatever. Yeah, it just made me think about it.
Yeah, so I mean, so now they're on the bus ride. We get Ratcatcher 2's backstory with her father, played by the director of Thor Ragnarok, and tons of other shit. I'm just gonna go with that randomly because I know Kevin likes that movie. And then we get Idris Elba's kind of backstory of why he hates rats, and then they tell each other that they're going to get the other one through this, which I thought was a little disrespectful to the rest of the bus, since there's a lot of other people there, and they're just like, you and me, we're going to get through this together. We're going to lift each other up, and then everyone else is sitting there like, so I die, just me. Okay. All right.
Shamua Gorath. Shamua Gorath?
The character?
Yeah.
Yeah, like probably was just used for that video game. And then they were like...
Yeah, he's in Doctor Strange, Marvel premiere number 10, 1973.
Like, never use this again. Like...
This is literally the same idea. Comic books, unoriginal, since 1973.
Well, I mean, there's a reason they never got to do it again, because Starro is way better. Anyway... So they get to the club, they go inside the club, they get some drinks, get their drink on, and John Cena's like...
That's like a bonding moment with everyone.
Yeah, it's a good bond moment, because John Cena, he's like, Idris Elba was like, one drink, and Cena's like, you're going to be that guy? He's like, I'm going to be that guy. And then the rat doesn't get a drink, and then here's the second time they use it for Polka Dot Man. He's dancing, and he sees a sea of his mothers, and he's just fucking cutting a rug with a sea of moms, and I laughed again because it's super funny and dumb. And Cena's shirt's too small, so it's like his abs are poking out underneath it. It's a really dumb outfit on him.
They have like just common people clothes from this dude's like thrift store or whatever, so they can blend in.
So, and then finally, Doctor Who shows up. He's the Thinker this time. And he's there. Oh, you know what? I think, fuck me. No, we missed the whole Harley Quinn part. I'm sorry. We gotta go to Harley Quinn in Love.
Yeah, I hated this part. It was
this part. Well,
awful.
Let's just push through it real quick. So Harley Quinn's allowed to live. She's put in a hole, taken out of a hole, put in a dress, and introduced to the president, who has also just seen what Starro is and figured out that it's an American project. Blah 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 blah. And she's treated like a princess. She sees this guy come out of the bath in his underwear for some reason. I was like, where's the full frontal on this guy? Like, very disappointing.
But he's a respectable actor, dude.
Yeah, I guess so. And then they do this whole romance thing where they eat and do
I didn't understand this at all.
You don't like the triple track shot? I like the triple track shot at least.
I mean,
track shot.
It did nothing for me. It really just kind of bored me. This is the part of the movie where I was just like, this does not need to be in here. I know Harley Quinn's huge and she's a massive popular character, but I think there was a million and to one other things you could have had her do.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's so. It really is disappointing because it is. It feels like, oh, we have to give Harley Quinn X amount of screen time.
But yeah, and I have no real problem with that. But just what are you having her do?
Something different. I don't know. It should have just led with her escaping rather than this. Yeah, she could have just joined the team sooner.
In all honesty, what the movie does when it wants to, this is kind of another thing that rubbed me the wrong way, is you kind of get the perception, or basically the perspective of a lot of the squad members. You kind of see it from their point of view, especially with like Polka Dot Man. You see what he sees with his mom, and it's in his mind. And they do it later with Harley, how you see how she interacts in this almost old Disney animated world. She's shooting these machine guns off at a scene, and there's all these colors. And when she sees violence, it's fun and bright and colorful. They do it a couple of times, but they only do it with some characters, and I think that was a real big missed opportunity. They could have cut the whole 15-20 minutes of Harley just hanging out with this dude just to only assassinate him. I would have took 2 minutes with they give you even some of what is it, Ratcatcher #2. Even she gets a little bit of a transition through fucking windows and stuff. You're like, oh, that's cool. I like that.
Well, yeah, it gave it a very Oliver Twist.
It's very comic booky presentation of transitioning through like the bus window, and now I can see her past. But King Shark didn't get anything, and like Peacemaker really didn't. And you're like, you should have gave
even Bloodsport doesn't, or Bloodsport.
And you should have gave them something. But you got the daughter with him, right? So he's kind of in the now. But the other characters that you just thrusted upon us, I think they needed a little bit. And it would have threw you off the scent of Peacemaker because you could feel a little more compassion. Why is he so angst up to be, for justice in the American way? You know what I mean? Just 2 minutes. 2 minutes out of your big 2-hour movie. And I would have been like, you know what? That's all I really need. I know you don't want to sit there for 20, but you could have reworked the Harley Quinn stuff, fixed her up, made her just do some... I'm not really big into her doing crazy cool action scenes. Like, you could have just had some like fun stuff with the locals, trying to escape, doing some, I don't know, anything else than what she did.
Yeah. But, no, I don't disagree at all. I just don't know what to me, it also just feels like he was told you have to have her have this much screen time. And so he found the only thing he could use to make his story progress, So they bang, and then he starts talking about Starro, which is just called the Beast at this point, and he's like, now my enemies will be fucking fed to the Beast, and their families and their loved ones, and anyone that they ever knew will be fed to the Beast. And it's like, okay, which I thought was a weird turn on the guy, because he seemed all about like, oh, I'm gonna like show the world, or not so much like I'm gonna get the world to take me seriously, but then he's like going all low of like, if anyone even like blows their nose at me, they're going to the fucking Beast. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? Like, okay.
Well, and then our Suicide Squad doesn't really care unless you mention children getting hurt, because the operators that work for Waller had the same response. Harlequin had this same response. She was like, children. And you're like, oh, what? Okay, so we're bad, but to an extent. Yeah. And then this part of the narrative just closes off. And I was like, we could have really just done anything else than what we chose to do. Like,
it definitely deflates the whole military coup angle that up until that point seemed very relevant to the story.
It was a story B, if you ask me. Like, it was like, they were like, we need to do a resolution here. Like, I think if it was me, I would have really just reworked it a little bit, where Harley Quinn could have been messing with a thinker, and I think that would have been funny because they're so
pair them up sooner.
Different. Yeah, I would have paired them up sooner, where she's like, I need to get to my friends. I did this, I did that. And then he's going to be like, well, what are you here for? And she's like, I have no idea. I think it's a big starfish or whatever, right? And they could have had more like these awkward, like bosom buddy type scenes but then she's just over hyperly violent to him, where he's just like, "Fine, your friends are here," and then they go to use him too because they know he goes to the Pussycat Cafe or whatever, and then they kind of like all meet up off of that, and I think that would have been way better than what they ended up doing, personally.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Like, I don't like the rest of the movie's fine to me. I just think the Harley Quinn stuff was boring. But yeah, I mean, you could have reworked it, but that's
whatever. It's I'm not.
Yeah. Like we could do that all day with these comic book movies. Yeah. But at the end of the day, the studio really is ruining it. So there's that. But yeah, so she fucking shoots him in the chest. Their sex scene was stupid. I thought all the ripping and breaking and the fire and stuff. But so she shoots him, and then she's just like starts going on this rant, and it's basically this like it's about the Joker, and I kind of like don't really like this whole domestic abuse angle they keep going with Harley Quinn and the Joker. Like, yeah, granted, that's what it was, but now it's like, especially in like the comic books and that cartoon show that everyone fucking loves, it's just like it's really kind of getting just like uncomfortable, where it's like, is this the only story we can tell with her now? Is she just identified by this characteristic? Because that's sad. She's a great character, like that has had so much work put into her besides that, so they arrest her and take her away again instead of just killing her on sight, because what the fuck?
Yeah, dude, she just stands there, puts her hands up, and I was like, they clearly could see a murder's taken place of one of their, but unless they're the general's men, and the general's just like, hey, now I have control, let me kill these birds he loves. And I was like, okay.
And he's like, I'm gonna light these birds on fire, and I was like, what? Just to not make me think he was ruthless, I kind of went, why is this your first act as president?
Yeah,
and why was that other guy watching the gasoline be poured on the birds so surprised when they lit on fire?
I was like, I thought he was just fucking around.
Oh, I thought there was water. What the?
He's like, dude, there's literally a KFC right across the street. You didn't have to do it your way, You
could have just gone over there,
I get it. You got an air fryer. You keep rubbing it in my face. Fuck you.
But this is like open air fryer. What the fuck, man? And he's like, yeah, leave Harley Quinn alive. I'm going to interrogate her. Okay.
For what?
I don't fucking know.
What is
Great question. So then we got to go back to the club. The Thinker has shown up on cue. And then they're like, all right, we got to get out of here. The army shows up.
Just walk around with the spark plugs in his head. Like, I thought it'd been funnier if he had a hat that didn't really fit, or like a wig that was crooked. That's what I was waiting for him to come in. But they play it dead serious. Like, if he had like a curly blonde wig that kind of just laid to the side with all his little things poking out, and they'd be like, there he is. He could be like, how do you know? He's like, he's trying to blend in. You're like, you think he is? What do you think? Well, I didn't recognize him.
That wig is like 6 inches tall.
Yeah, like I think that'd have been funny for like, the Peacemaker could have been a good back and forth about his stupid hair. I think I thought it was a missed opportunity, or give him like a big fedora or something.
If that's what you're going for, but they're trying to play it, to the comic book, and that's what he looks like in the comic book.
No, yeah, I get it, but like when he's out and about, I think he's like, oh, that must be his going out of town hat, or his night on the town hat, and it's just a fedora that's like 6 sizes too big or something. That would have made me laugh because I think he visually looks stupid.
I think that goes to too far in the Waka Waka, whereas at least they were shooting for like, I think, classic rated R, whereas like that would just like Kevin would laugh at that. So I mean, it's hilarious, but if that showed up suddenly in the movie, I would have, even as much as I like this movie, if he shows up in a giant fedora,
not like a giant comical fedora, not like a fucking gimmick fedora,
is there? That's the only way. When you say giant fedora, I see how big his spikes are.
No. You got it like just a large fedora. Like he's literally got the largest hat he could get, but it's still not covering up. And he's like, does he think that's working? You know what I mean? Like, not like a fucking
I think
SNL
everyone's just
skit.
terrified by him, so they're just like,
Yeah, but
yeah.
they weren't. He just walked in there. They're like, "Hey, look at this guy with the spark plugs in his
It's
head."
because he
Like,
spots all of them instantly. He can't help himself to just like look at
I
them.
don't
Are you
know.
coming over to me?
Missed opportunity, man. I
Well,
don't not a comically sized one, but just kind of like a pitiful one where he's just like, man, he's trying to hide those stupid things.
I mean, he's the cock of the walk of that island, so people fear him.
Th-
They don't say anything. So yeah, they get him. The military shows up though, so half of them they split up. Bloodsport tells Ratcatcher 2, "Hey, follow me on the tracker that we have not introduced until this point, and then meet me in 30 minutes." So they give themselves up. They get arrested. Again, not killed on sight, but arrested. And they're driven away. Ratcatcher gets out. Polka Dot Man gets out. They go. They take Milton and they drive away. And then we're in the back of the holding cell, I guess, or whatever, with our three guys. And what do you think of this scene, Kevin? Did it come across as cool as it tried to? I kind of didn't really like this scene. I don't like.
Where they do the cigarette bit?
Yeah, the cigarette bit and the whole like the one hit kill thing.
I didn't like it because I don't think of these guys as cool without their stuff. I just picture them more bumbling a little bit because they're not a well-oiled expert machine. I figure they're more of kind of like, I think they're a little doofy, a little bit. Like
Exactly, and that's why this scene tried to be like really serious all of a sudden, of like to show how hardcore killers they are. And I felt like it.
But I already know that from
out
the
of place.
village raid, right?
Exactly, but it's like this, like the dialogue here doesn't match the doofy goofiness, you know. Like in that village killing scene, that's where Bloodsport flips off Cena, and then Cena jerks off and throws the cum in his eyes.
Jesus, dude.
That's what they do, Kevin. Why the fuck are you judging me? That's what happens in the movie.
Man, have some decorum. This goddamn
The guy who
frat,
wanted a
frat house.
fedora. All right.
Yeah, a
Or
comical
curly
fedora.
hair,
You're talking
if
about
I might add.
ejaculate flying across the scene and hitting one of fucking cinema's greatest treasures.
Well, that's the movie he signed up for. So, don't blame me. Yeah, but anyway, so they break free. Cena or Peacemaker shoots through the fucking car, and then they crash, and then they get out of the car, and they're like, "We gotta go save Harley Quinn."
I would have preferred if they did the cigarette gimmick, and then they kind of all three of them fuck it up a little bit, and the cigarette burns Cena. He's like, "Dude, come on!" And, like, you know what I mean? It needed something to break it up because
it just needed their pizzazz that they've already established, you know.
Yeah, they're not like the sleek band of ninjas, assassin killing. Like they can be violent when it's time to be violent, but I think that scene should have been played a little more for comedy. That's all.
Yeah, no, I agree. And now they're off to save Harley Quinn because, like, fuck the mission. Like, just keep adding more missions. Like, that's really. I didn't like that part. I'm like,
please make this 10-minute movie in 2 hours.
Yeah,
they're like,
just
done.
don't save Harley Quinn because I know she doesn't need to be saved, and I know that's the angle. Like, I knew that instantly. I was like, she's not going to need to be saved. Cut the Harley Quinn. She's being tortured, electrocuted. Poorly, I might add, and singing Gigolo song. I don't remember what it's called. Kevin, you're the music guy.
It's David Lee Roth.
I mean, David Lee Roth covers it. There's Louis Palma.
David's version is the only version for me, buddy.
Well, that's a damn shame because you should enjoy the original.
Check the billboards, bro. I don't think so.
Anyway, well, the version they play later is not David Lee Roth. So.
Dude, that's the only version that matters. And if James Gunn there's like 1,800 music beds in this movie. They couldn't throw David Lee Roth a bone? Come on.
No, he was like, I'm going to go with the classic, Louis Palma.
Didn't like it.
Well, you're a tasteless hack. That's all I have to say. Anyway, leave it to the music guy to disappoint me. Way to go.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually, Harley passes out or fake passes out. I did enjoy this scene, how silently she kills this fucking guy. That was pretty good. She frees herself. She gets boots on. She just kills everyone in the building. And we get the aforementioned scene Kevin said where we see from her POV of she's seeing like flowers and cartoon animals and shit. And she finds the javelin and like calls to her. And then she starts whooping ass with the javelin. And then she just steps outside and calls a taxi. Just in time to see Rick Flag and Bloodsport about to execute their plan of saving
I like
her.
the way I like Bloodsport's mask a lot. I think it's very cool.
Yeah, it is.
And he's just wearing it in his regular like civilian clothes, and he does this old guy run across the street. And I don't know if that was supposed to make me laugh, but it made me laugh.
No, I agree, man. It made me. I hope it was intentional because they both run like really goofy, but him especially. Yeah, it was like an old man shuffle. Like I was just like, what the fuck? So,
Yeah,
I was like, do you want this guy to? My first thought was they want this guy to be James Bond. Like, no, he's too old. I'm sorry. Like, you're gonna get like one movie out of him. He's gonna die.
I mean, I think his armor looks cool. I hated his gun. I thought his gun was stupid.
Yeah, I don't like the gun. I like the attachments. I didn't like the look of it. I don't like that weird like T-shape it shot from.
I didn't. What that gun did made no sense. It was it was beyond ridiculous. And I was like, just give him like a hand cannon. I'm
well, I mean, yeah, but Peacemaker had the cool hand cannon, so.
Yeah, but I don't know. At least give him like a sci-fi gun. You gave him the CG thing. I don't even. Whatever.
I think that was their sci-fi gun. That's the sad part. But yeah, so they're about to execute their mission. Peacemaker's about to shoot the only person that's still alive in the office, which is just kind of this secretary character that shows up three times.
That could have been played for comedy too. He's like, I got eyes on her. I got the secretary. And he's like, no, dude, she's right here. I said, I'll take her out right now. And he's like,
yeah, no, I expected there to be more because I was like, oh my God, is he going to murder the secretary?
Yeah, no, that's what I was waiting for. He's like, no, man, Harley's right here. You're all good. He's like, I seen her tits, key skills. They're shit. I'll take her out right here. I was waiting for something.
Just say the word. Just say the word. Like, I'm telling you to stand down. He's just like,
I've seen her change that pot of coffee one time. This is unacceptable. I'll do it. This is for justice. This is for peace.
Yeah. Piece of that fucking coffee maker because she is fucking that up. Oh, it is gonna have a burnt aroma. You cannot fix that. You gotta throw it out and start over. I'm gonna do this one for the whole fucking country. Boom. Yeah. But no, they don't. And I did like her, like how she got over emotional. Like, you guys are gonna save me, and just like that. She's like, I could go back inside, and he was like, it was a really good plan. So,
well, then they make.
I was like, I don't know if it was, but okay.
They made Bloodsport do the old Fat Man, shit where he grapples and he starts walking up the wall slow. And I was like, I don't like that Batman.
I don't like when King Shark was like, bird. Just. And they were like, "Stamp the fucking cobs, King Shark." I was like,
"Oh yeah,
that was good. That was good." But now they got Harley, so they got to go. We
got to go finish this movie. But then there's
their plan. We got to get like one more scene where they're like, I didn't like this scene where they're like telling the Thinker what's going to go on, and he's just like, okay. And then Harley Quinn just kept talking and saying dumber shit.
But then the Thinker had to have like a monologue where he just tells them why America's stupid, Starro, you guys found Starro, and blah blah blah.
Yeah. The only part that did make me laugh was when she said, if you cough and don't cover your mouth, and he said those last three aren't anything, but if you think that's an open invitation to cough with your mouth and not cover it, he's like, no, that's no. Like, that actually did make me laugh because I was just like, I don't know.
It was too real for me. I didn't enjoy it. It's too real world for me.
It was. I think that's why I enjoyed it. But yeah, so then they're off. Worst military ever. The Thinker, who's like your top scientist guy, probably shows up in a nice car or is chauffeured. Shows up in a shitty van, very obviously filled with people. And no one questions him. They're just like, yeah, roll on through, dude. Why not? I guess he drives a van now. Yes, I didn't picture the Thinker as a van guy with his curly hair and his comical size fedora.
We're all a little bit of a van guy.
Yeah, sometimes, some days. Then it rains for just whatever reason, I guess because, Central America. And they walk in the rain. It looks cool because it's just that CG slow motion bullshit.
I'm so done with the group walks.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, this movie was just like,
fuck
I'm
the
gonna
right
do it.
stuff for doing that first.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's why he does it. He's just like, I'm gonna fucking overkill this, so you just never want to see it again.
I do. It's been forever since I never wanted to see that. When they do it, I don't think it's cool. I think you guys look like a bunch.
Last time I enjoyed it was Swingers, and if you rewatch that, it looks horrible today. You're just like, oh god, what the fuck?
Dude, I hate that movie. That's a That's a movie that just has a lot of bad history.
Sorry for bringing it up. I forgot. I was like, oh, why'd I say that? He's gonna take a 15-minute monologue to slam.
No. I just hate it. That's it. The end.
To play NHL '94 in that movie. The good one.
Sucks.
The fighting. Well, my favorite part is they bring Milton, who's the guy driving the van. And
but then they ruined their own joke later on. I was like, oh, you fucking movie.
I kind of know because I think Polka Dot Man saves it for me. Yeah, Harley shits the bed on it hard.
Yeah,
and then when they try to have her do a callback, it shits the bed again.
Yeah,
but Polka Dot Man, he fucking kills it. And Bloodsport even saves it a little bit when he's just like, when's this love affair with Milton start? And he was like, from the beginning, I liked him. So it was just like, okay, all right. But they get inside. Peacemaker smashes the Thinker's face against the eye retinal scanner. I don't know how it worked because he's just literally just smashing his head.
It's like, stop. You're not up. He's broken.
Yeah, they get inside, and then so the idea is they're gonna split up, put the explosives everywhere, and Flag and Ratcatcher 2 for some reason are gonna go down with the Thinker and see what's in the basement. See what's up with this beast. That's when they go down there, and I have to say, Kevin, I thought the starfish on the faces was so spot on, perfect to the comic book.
Oh, that was my favorite part. I really liked.
Like at
we
that
didn't
point, I was
mention it
like,
earlier, but when the astronauts find it and the astronauts get hit with the little starfishes that attach, I was like, man, these are awesome. These look so cool.
Yeah, and that's where I was just like, wow. That's like since the first Spider-Man movie when Green Goblin and Spider-Man are like talking for like the first time on screen. Did I have that kind of like, wow, comic book chills? Yeah, where I'm just like, damn, like that's hitting me in all the fucking right places of just like, I cannot believe I'm seeing that. That is just so spectacular. Like, just kudos to the team. And I really liked Starro. I loved how Starro was handled. Yeah, he was cool. I thought they did a good job of not making it too threatening because, like, really, when Starro shows up in the comic book, it's just like, oh fuck, like a lot of people are about to die, and that's it. They don't really play that soft. Like it's bad. It's bad news. So they go down there, and the Thinker just kind of cuts a promo on like,
capitalism.
Capitalism. America didn't want to, America's not going to conduct these experiments. They're not going to do the hard work on their soil. They're going to put it in, these small nations and let them go ape. And Rick Flag is just like, fuck no, hell no. He gets a hard drive and he's like, no, I am not covering up any more dirty secrets for the government. This is too far. This is too much.
Peacemaker's like, hey, bro, I got paid twice on this mission.
Yeah, he's like, hey, this is why I have the exact same skills as Bloodsport because I'm the insurance. No, peace won't be kept if you release that. I have to keep the peace. Cue the explosion though, because the explosions go off and we don't know why. But there's two teams. We got to go to the other side of the team real quick, and see. Or no, wait, first. No, I guess we got to finish.
Yeah, it's basically you see everyone set up the explosives on the one team, and then you cut to Harley Quinn and what's his name, Bloodsport.
Well, yeah. It's I mean, first before we get there, I think we see more downstairs. Technically, like we see, basically Ratcatcher wakes up. Starro grabs the Thinker, splits him in half, throws him against the fucking window. Ratcatcher gets away. And then we see Flag and Peacemaker. They're on the other side, and they start fighting. And I like the shot where it just shows the fight in the helmet and just kind of pans around the helmet. I thought that was
cool. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's a cool shot. And then at the end of the day, they just have a really bloody fight, and yeah, really bloody fight, you know. And Peacemaker proves that anything in his hand is a deadly weapon and kills Rick Flag. And then Ratcatcher 2 sees him do it and grabs a hard drive and scampers away. And Peacemaker goes after her, and he's like, why did you have to fucking take the hard drive? And she's like, why do you have to kill me? You know, like, fine, fucking take the hard drive, but why do you have to kill me? He's like, because I'm thorough. And then boom, we go to the other side, and they've planted all the explosives, and so King Shark goes up one level. He does this horrible aquarium scene with the Krylax. I looked it up because I was like, I know them from, again, those stupid lists.
Yeah.
And they're just like alien fish, you know, and it's just a weird little Easter egg, okay? There's nothing else to it.
But I didn't understand that scene, though.
I didn't understand either. He calls them dumb friends, and I don't know, it's just to show, I don't know, King Shark's loneliness or something.
Well, he's finding friends, now he won't eat them, and then they eat him?
Yeah. I don't know.
What happens when you try to make friends? They fuck you.
if of all the scenes in the movie, I would have dropped this first and foremost. You know.
Yeah.
Over the Harley Quinn shit, I would have dropped this one first because it just doesn't make any goddamn sense. But they go up another level. They drop some shit. Someone shoots Milton, and then they kill the guys that shot Milton, and then they're all just cowering in they sought cover behind cubicles, and the Polka Dot Man's like, Milton's dead, and she's just like, who the fuck's Milton? And he's like, are you fucking kidding me? He's been with us the whole time. And then even Bloodsport's just like, wait, he was with us the whole time? He's like, are you fucking nuts? He's dead. And just like, he's just real pissed, and I don't know, it's a good scene. And then more troops show up, and Polka Dot Man fucks up and hits a C4 and sets off all the explosions early.
I kind of like the way they do his polka dots.
Yeah, it looks cool.
They go into slow motion. They just do like those. It reminds me of a game when I was little. Like, I don't know if it was like I don't know what the hell it was, but there's little plastic discs that were part of like markers. They're like rainbow colored. And I was like, man, are they kind of like.
No, it totally looks exactly. I was thinking the same thing.
I just can't think of the game it comes from. I don't want to say like Tiddlywinks or
I think it is, though. I think it is Tiddlywinks.
Like a boxed version of it or something.
Yeah, but I mean, they're just like, there's these little, just like plastic coin-looking things, you know?
Yeah,
that's
the size of a quarter.
Looks. So I'd be shocked if that wasn't the exact inspiration for it, because it's like, that looks exactly like them.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have this scene where the building crumbles. They're all going to fall off. King Shark falls down as he's being eaten by the alien jellyfish. And it's the first time we've seen him take damage, actually, like biting into him and everything. And then Bloodsport doesn't quite make it, and he starts falling through all the floors. And I guess this was comedy. I did not like this scene because I was just like, man, that guy's back and knees are going to be fucked after that. But he falls all the way through, and he lands on the opposite side of Peacemaker. They see each other. They shoot at each other. We do a callback to smaller bullets. He shoots through Peacemaker's bullet and hits him in the neck. Peacemaker asks how he did it, and he says smaller bullets. And that's how Peacemaker goes out. You're just like, okay. But he saves Ratcatcher too. They fight some more. They all regroup. King Shark eats some more people. And then Starro is free. Starro busts out. Shoots some starfish and shit. And then the comms are back up. We're back over into Belle Reve. Belle Reve. There we go. Knew it had a bell in it. And they're just like, oh, okay, well, if you destroy the hard drives and shit, and then your mission's over, like, fuck off. And
they stick the finger to the man.
Yeah, Bloodsport's just like, fuck it. I can't let them destroy all these people. Like, because they've seen firsthand what the starfish do to people, and you can't remove them. It's not like aliens. You can just pull it off and hope for the best or something. No, it's like that. Just they're dead. They die.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're like, all right, let's go fucking put this starfish down. And Waller's like, damn it, don't fucking disobey me. I will blow your fucking heads off. And she's about to do it, and then someone golf clubs her in the side of the fucking head.
And that's an HR nightmare.
As an HR nightmare for sure. People are getting talked to.
The team starts helping
their story did straight so they can cover for each other.
The cameras film that shit.
Oh yeah.
The team starts telling the suicide team what the club, remember that movie, what to do. And they're like, yeah, let's get it. Let's start Starro. And I'm like, man, are you going to just throw that javelin in that fucking starfish's eye already?
Dude, we all knew that.
Over with. Hurry. And she's like, no, man, I'm going to run from a building explosion like it's Uncharted. And I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. She's
killing me in this movie, right?
I know. It's so disappointing because it's like she's great as Harley Quinn, but the stuff they have her do is so stupid. It's just like, what the fuck? The only part I like is when she kind of slipped the boot on more and started running faster and they all just like jogged with her. Like, I like that. I was like, okay, all right, that was kind of cool, you know. But then they just like fuck it up. He's like, Harley, high ground, and she's just like, I'll just do nothing. And then I'm just gonna jump to it real quick. You see her floating inside of Starro, and I was like, why are we here? I don't need to see more music. I did, but I didn't need to see her. I didn't even need to see the rats doing the thing. Like, just like get me out of here.
It's like, listen, I played Plague Tale Innocence. I know little kids can control rats. It's a great game. I didn't see any of that happen. Oh, this girl control rats too. Oh, you guys just fucking stole this from a video game.
Pretty sure the video game might have just stolen it from like.
Hey, whatever, man. That game's really good. So, take that, Starro.
He's like, okay. But yeah, so they start fighting Starro. He, fuck, man, too many people in this movie with stupid names that are similar. Bloodsport.
Yeah, you keep saying
becomes a lead. Like, I want to say Blackguard every time because I'm just like, oh fuck, no, that's a stupid character. I hate it, but whatever, you know. Bloodsport becomes the leader that was alluded to in the beginning. He sicks King Shark on Starro, who he just starts eating his armpit. It's real gross. He convinces Polka Dot Man to use his powers. He's like, that's your mother. Rule of 3, giant fucking mom shows up. He blows off her ankle. All the Starro connected people start grabbing their ankle. It wasn't supposed to be funny, I assume, but it was funny. I was like, yeah, it's funny. And then Ratcatcher 2 summons a bunch of rats. They start beating the shit out of Starro. Harley Quinn javelins into the eye. The rats go in. Game over. You know, Kaiju defeated.
Kaiju. Really, you got a motherfucking Kaiju.
Yeah. And I did really like Starro's last words where he said, I was happy just floating, looking at the stars. Like, basically, like, I would have just left you guys alone if you just left me alone. You know, you just had to like fuck with me. And I was like, oh, sad little backstory to our villain. They upload the video somehow off the drive that they got, like randomly. I don't know how.
They must have had like Microsoft Cloud or something.
Something. He's like, I uploaded that to a secure server.
And then he filmed himself for the YouTube so the news could get it, so he could be a good dad.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
And she's like,
at this part,
that's my dad. I was like, yeah, who's on that block? Everyone that was on that block got turned into starfish or stomped by a fucking starfish, you know?
Yeah, they're not live streaming your dad. I was like, they were a covert military operation. There's no internet here. This island is time forgot this island. Well, I didn't see one T-Mobile tower. All right, no 5G for these assholes. These speeds, no.
Yeah, they're lucky to be on the Edge network.
Pixelated as fuck.
Yeah, that part was dumb. She was just like, "That's my dad," and the rest of the room was just like, "You have a father?
Are you an orphan? I heard you stole an iPhone. It was a watch, an Apple Watch, an iPhone watch.
Did you know? Do you want to watch TV on that? Like, we have a 55-inch right here. Like, it does other stuff. Like your
heart. It was a Samsung Pebble.
She's like, "Oh, disappointing." She's like, is that going to get that Wear OS 3? It's not?
It's a
fucking
Fitbit. Yeah, those are
bullshit.
lame. No one has those anymore.
Yeah, no, actually, they have a lot.
Adjust Fitbit.
And yeah, so they make a deal that they're all gonna get free, I guess, and they won't show it. And the Ratcatcher 2 is kind of like, oh no, Harley Quinn's like a little disappointed, and then they bond over Rick Flag, and he's like, I don't got many friends, and I was like, don't do that, don't do that line. I hate that fucking line. I don't have any friends. Okay, you're an old mercenary. Like, did you want friends in life? I'm pretty sure you could have got them. Like, why do I need to hear this? Like, remorseful bullshit. And then they do the Milton joke, and then they get on the plane, and then he pets a CG rat in the wrong place. And that's the end of the movie.
The end.
The end. Oh, until
After credits.
No. Mid credits, when Kevin's favorite character, the Weasel, wakes up on the beach.
Oh yeah.
And then just runs away awkwardly.
I was waiting for him to trip off like a landmine or something.
I was waiting for him to like fart or something.
Yeah, just randomly just blow up or just trip up Claymore or something.
Yeah, that would have been great too.
Yeah, just point towards.
Or just start going over the dead bodies and like checking them.
Yeah, or like humping a tree or a coconut or something. Just something.
Or just turns to the camera. We'll be back next time. Weasel out. So they're just like, what the fuck?
I got the almost died shits.
They would just wake up on a beach with the shits and a lot of ocean water in your lungs.
Good night, everybody. I'm the Weasel. Everybody's just like, okay, all right.
Like great. He just lights a cigarette, and then you see the thing in the credits where it's just like no one was forced to condone the use of cigarettes or something. You're like, oh damn, they did not want that cigarette in that movie. And then the post credits, Kevin, setting up our HBO Max movie.
Yeah, it's one of Waller's like table jockeys and computer jockeys, and they're like, what do you want it for? She's like, I don't know, to keep the peace or
save the fucking planet.
And then you're like, what is he talking about? And then you look over, and of course it's the Peacemaker, and they got him all bandaged up, and he's like sitting there like, I still function.
Yeah. And the doctor's like, I heard you some kind of a hero down in Corto Maltese. And she was just, oh yeah, you fucking heard that? Huh? So, and they've been shackled with this guy as some sort of revenge for not stopping the woman that clubbed Amanda Waller in the head, I guess, or something. I don't know. That was weird.
Yeah, that part was weird. I didn't really know, like, I mean, she
got a more severe punishment.
Yeah, she wasn't like a Nick Fury, or you know what I mean, showing up to get this guy. I was like, what is she? Were you eating Zappo chips on your lunch earlier in the movie?
She's like, I was. You know.
She was. I noticed the bag. It's one of my favorites.
That was when they were doing the I didn't see you get hit with a golf club look, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll watch Peacemaker. You know, I think Cena did good.
Yeah,
so, I wish they hadn't announced it before you like saw the movie, because it's like when you know there's a Peacemaker show, I'm like, well, I don't.
I mean, it takes the edge off. I didn't know that because I don't really follow shit like this anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I heard about it almost in conjunction with the release of this, where they were like Peacemaker movie. I was like, oh, okay, that seemed like you probably could have waited to tell me that. But thanks, internet.
I think it's going to be a show on HBO Max, not a movie.
No, yeah, it is a show. Yeah.
Oh, you said Peacemaker movie, and I was like, a movie?
Well, I mean, it was just, you know.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Stating it. Yeah, show. TV show. So, I mean, obviously, I like this movie a lot. Like, enough to watch it twice. But,
yeah, I'm shocked, man.
Yeah, I mean, the first time I watched it, I really enjoyed it. And then I just wanted to make sure, because it was several days ago that I watched it. I watched it, like, basically upon its release. And then...
Well, yeah, you told me we're watching this. And I was like,
when I watched it. Yeah.
Don't really want to, but all right.
You chuckled?
I chuckled, but I don't like comic book movies. Like, I'd rather watch The Rock on a boat in a jungle and not laugh at that either.
Oh God, I'm not watching that, Kevin. Don't even put that out there. Now I'm gonna get a request from it. Like,
no. People are just like, I stopped listening. Like, what is he talking about?
They're like, I tapped out when you told me the entire Suicide Squad movie, including the funny parts. What the fuck, asshole? Okay,
So,
go back to the fedora and the curly hair. All right, I've turned a corner on that.
well, we'll calm down. We'll see
How
it.
curly is the hair?
A funny
Could he
curly,
be a red haired?
like
We
two,
do it like a
real
Gene
tight,
Hackman.
tight curls. Yeah, yeah, real funny.
I
I
mean,
think,
if it had the Gene Hackman curly hair,
and it had to be mullety. Like it just kind of be like he just does it because he's like, hey, I'm incognito here. I'm the thinker, and everyone's like, dude, we know it's you. Like, what are you
they're
doing?
like, "Thinker, what do you want to drink?" He's like, "Hey, I'm Carl today. Carl
Yeah.
Malone. Maybe you've heard of me." They're just like, "What? No, you're not Carl Malone."
Yeah.
He's like,
Here's your drink.
"Shh,
Here's your drink, mailman. And I've
just
been
drink
like,
this
nice.
fucking exactly."
Organized sports. Yeah, it's an entertaining movie for people. I know everyone's gonna dig it. It's doing great. It's got like a B plus. It's number one at the box office. It's just rocking and rolling. It's probably gonna do well. Hopefully you'll get another one with something similar
Yeah, I mean, technically it's
casting.
underperforming, and people like I saw a ton of articles how they were like, you know, everyone was disappointed with how it performed and stuff, and they're saying like the Delta variant killed it, and I was like, really? I don't think like look at the world, and also they released it on HBO Max. At least it wasn't like fucking bootlegged the shit out of like Black Widow,
Well, they
like
also
that
didn't
thing just
charge people $30 a pop to watch it on Max. So
yeah, exactly,
it's a double win because it's going to get box office when it's done running around the world, and it's going to get subscriptions to the Max. So that's really where a lot of the business is now. It's a brand new brave world when it comes to cinema and basically the movie theater experience. I know some directors and studios are dancing on the theater's graves and they don't give a shit. But that all aside, people just check it out. I think it's an enjoyable movie. I didn't really care for it too much, but it is one of the better comic book movies I've seen and out of the last big batch of them. So I will give it that. Keek Shark is great. I thought Cena did great. I think um, all the performances were fine. It's just it had a lot of questionable use of time in it, but easy. It's easy to recommend.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that just goes with every Suicide Squad story. Like I said in the very beginning, you're never going to get a different story. Like if they do a sequel to this with a different director, it's still going to be the same fucking story. So that's why I just enjoyed the performances,
Yeah,
enjoyed the characters, I enjoyed the costumes. I like that shit.
yeah.
I like that someone finally like showed all along that we could have just done it this way and people would have been fine and enjoyed it, but we had to get through like fucking 15 years of black leather.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I mean, I would recommend it. So I know a lot of people that I work with were excited to see it in the theater and everything, and it'd probably be cool in the theater, but I enjoyed it just watching it on the HBO Max. I think it worked just fine there. So
Definitely.
and that will do it. Thank you for listening. You can subscribe on your favorite podcast provider. We encourage you to share this with friends if you enjoyed it. Give us some feedback whenever you would like on social media. It's Let's Movie Pod or Let's Movie Podcast. You can follow us there. You can follow us on YouTube, where you'll get the show a week later from when we recorded it and released it to everyone else's ears, but we appreciate you listening to it there as well. Ring the bell, subscribe, leave a comment that we won't read. Now, Kevin will read it. I won't. But we thank you. And Kevin, take us away.
You sure it was David Lee Roth?
It was definitely not David Lee Roth. You should have just said Weasel Out.